Let's take off. Let's go. Look at that. I know some people are not too happy with how you're entering planets and leaving planets where or is in this game. To be honest with you, I'm not too fussed. I think it's quite an interesting way of doing it. They're obviously trying to do it so, you know, the engine has limitations. It's not StarField. It should not be treated as StarField. Sorry, Star Citizen. It shouldn't be treated as Star Citizen with what they're got going on with their crazy engine and stuff like that. It's not the same type of game. And I think a lot of people who did want to look in or did come to this thinking it would have a lot more going on, I think might have just been misunderstood from what they, you know, it's hard to explain. And a lot of people from the Star Citizen community were quite eager to try and play this game without kind of really knowing how Bethesda works. They're thinking, okay, it might be different. Different type of space game. I don't know, it's really hard for me to try and kind of explain. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't quite sure I was ready for that. Grav jump.
Starship Frontier, this is United Colonies Security. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Alantis.
Awesome. That's quite cool. I wasn't expecting that. So is New Atlanta when you go to? Yeah. Well, let's give ourselves a landing. So is this the first major area we're coming to? By the looks of it, I'm gonna have to guess yes. Look at that ship coming in. Now let's get up and let's go out as if we are walking out. Let's go to New Alantis.
Hey, Bosco! What, no Barrett? Let me guess. Protocol Indigo again?
Your memory is uncanny.
And here's your new captain. My crew can take a look at your ship, and you can stop by the Trade Authority kiosk if you need to offload some cargo. Looks to me like you're already in pretty good shape.
Okay, cool.
Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not quite sure where your booth is. Down on the left, did you say? This is quite cool. Let's wander around for a little bit.
I can assure you this unprovoked attack on the United Colonies research facility will not go unanswered. We'll get you settled into your new assignments as soon as possible. For you, Bobby, that includes meeting your new foster parent.
My parents aren't dead. They just took a different shuttle. I'll see them when they get here.
Oh, well, of course, that's sure possible. We'll just...
Helena Chambers, ID SSCOM 1327 HCHA. I was the station administrator. I'll need to report to Mast ASAP for a full debrief. My treatment thus far has been entirely unacceptable.
Oh dear.
Any authority you had was forfeit the moment House Varun zealots breached the station's perimeter, and you failed to initiate proper evacuation protocols. Thank you for your service. We'll find you a new position commensurate with your experience. And Mr. Bosch, let me just say how honored I am to meet you. By all accounts, you're the only reason anyone made it out of there alive.
Well, just glad I still remembered my flight basics. It had been a while. So was shooting a gun.
I read all about New Atlantis. So cool! Is it true the Nat train goes 5,000 miles an hour? Or that citizens get special discounts? Or that the whole city celebrates when it's your birthday? Mine's June 11th, by the way. My parents took me to Aquila City last year. It kinda smelled. But I don't smell anything.
No, yes, no, and I will certainly mark June 11th on my calendar. As for Aquila City, well, the air purifiers here in New Atlantis are state-of-the-art.
Aquila City? Oh, don't even get me started on those symptoms.
A little unfair, don't you think? 3-star Rangers helped me out quite a bit a couple years back.
I'm not sure
Got ambushed
this
by
is just
spacers near Naria.
them talking over and over,
I
or
assisted.
you could actually
No
interact with
questions
this.
asked. Even helped with some repairs so I could do an emergency jump home. Good people.
In any event, you all must be exhausted. Just give me a moment to coordinate some details with security. No soliciting. Do I need to call security? I'm really rather busy. If you'll excuse me.
She can't do this to me.
Guess you caught some of that, huh? The galaxy is at peace and somehow seems more dangerous than ever. Spacers, House Varun, Crimson Fleet, everyone trying to grab their piece. What happened to the early days, huh? When we just float through the stars and dream.
I hear that.
But hey, just stepping out your door is dangerous. What happened was a tragedy, of course, but I've had way more good happen in my life than bad. The galaxy's still pretty wonderful. It'll take more than this to make me think otherwise. Yep, that I have. Had to dump a load of cargo just last year. Microscopes. Can you believe that? Guess you can sell anything these days. Pirates are a tricky lot. In space, they're all about the hit and run. They jump in, steal your stuff, and get out of there fast. Keep your cool, and you can generally talk your way out of it, so long as you're not too attached to your valuables. Stumble upon them planetside, though, and their trigger fingers get much itchier.
House Varun, what's that?
Not what, who. How to describe House Varun? Well, imagine a bunch of colonists who set off into the stars ages ago, disappeared, and then re-emerged as a sort of religious society. Faction, or cult, whatever you want to call them. They believe in some sort of celestial deity called the Great Serpent. Real nightmare fuel kind of stuff. About 100 years back, they picked a fight with pretty much everyone in the settled systems. I guess your school never covered the Serpent's Crusade, huh? We eventually made peace, sort of. Then they just disappeared. They're out there, somewhere. Or so folks assume. The ones that attacked us, they were the hardliners, for sure. You meet those guys, you run. You understand me?
Right, okay, well that's not good to hear. We'll keep an eye out for those. Spacers, were they?
Really? You must have been hiding under a moon rock your whole life if you've managed to dodge those assholes. They're basically a bunch of space scumbags. Fly around, attack, and rob anyone they see. They're pretty disorganized and easy to fend off until they aren't. They're a different beast than the Crimson Fleet. Generally speaking, pirates want your stuff, so they can occasionally be reasoned with. Spacers, though, they tend to shoot first and ask questions never.
And who are you?
Ricardo Bosch. I was the lead researcher on the station that got attacked. It was business as usual until those House Varun crazies swarmed in, spouting their scripture or whatever it was. Even the Marines were overwhelmed. Honestly, I'm just lucky to have made it out of there in one piece. We all are. Now, I just want to get back to work. Where is that woman?
Okay.
Another time, then.
Well, thank you for talking. How about you?
I've never been in a battle before. Everyone kept telling me to keep my eyes closed, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're running. At first, I thought it was ecliptic mercenaries shooting at us, but it wasn't. It was these other people yelling about serpents and stuff.
Yeah, the galaxy's a tough place, kids.
Is that really an appropriate thing to say to a child? Anyway, I'm fine now. I hope my parents don't take too long getting here.
Yeah, I mean, that is quite appropriate. To say to a child, like, truth reality is, that is a tough place.
You are out there a lot, right? In space. Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy. Robbing, stealing, killing. Even the Crimson Fleet doesn't trust them.
Well, for the first city, this place looks quite big.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
Good to hear.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
Alright. Yeah, first impression, the place looks awesome.
Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
That was quick, didn't realize you could do that. Oh wow, this place is really nice. Oh dear, what happened to you? Yoink. So, what's this building? What do you sell here? Looks like the bar? New arrival. I won't take anything right now. So you can get crew. Are these all looking for crew?
Hello. Hey, if you're looking for a weapon specialist, I could really use the work to pay off some debts. I'm not asking for that much. Just my fair share.
Oh.
I understand. Swing by again when you can afford it.
These are some expensive prices. So we've got mission board, self-service, bounty clearance. Okay. And then what's this mission board? Oh, we can get missions here. Okay, awesome. That's quite cool. We might come back here.
Good to see you again. Can I get you something? Hey there. Always nice to see a new face. First time in New Atlantis?
Yes.
Oh boy. I didn't mean for you to take it personally. It's just something to say to customers. Break the ice. Know what I mean?
I wish I had more options there.
You just relax. Make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. That work for you, new guy? Let me know if there's anything I can get you.
Hey, so what's the order in turn?
You know, I had a guy in here last week ranting that General Shao ought to send the Marines down into the well. I'm usually all for letting folks speak their mind. Most times it can't be helped after a few drinks. But that was just too much. Anybody stuck living in the well, it almost certainly isn't by choice. And things down there aren't that bad.
Business seems to be booming for you.
Spaceport traffic keeps me pretty busy. But just between you and me, I've got something in the works that'll change everything. A new drink that'll make this place famous, galaxy-wide.
Well, I'll have to try this, don't I?
You would love it, I guarantee. Only, I can't make you one right now. Don't have the ingredients. I made a deal with the hauler to bring me some small samples of an ingredient I think will make all the difference. But it never showed up. Turns out the guy I hired was also hired by a few other folks. The kind of folks who ship less than legal cargo. Security got wind, and the whole lot was impounded. Now they're just sitting on it, taking their sweet time like they always do. It's killing me. I submitted all the paperwork, believe me. It won't amount to anything, but I did it. And really, I'm not even certain this is what I need to finish the recipe. I think it is. I need to get my hands on that cargo.
It sure sounds like you need a helping hand.
I really do. It's gonna keep me awake nights if I don't try. Before we say anything else, I am in no way asking you to do anything that might violate any of the many, many laws in place here in New Atlantis or the larger United Colonies. This is just one friend talking to another friend, asking if maybe that friend could possibly find a way to get her important cargo out of the impound. And if, hypothetically, that were done in a less than 100% legal way, well, that might not be the worst thing in the world. You, with me on this?
Okay,
God,
I can do it. Yep.
You have no idea what a relief this is. I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just figure there has to be a way to get what I need.
Do you have any information?
I know a few things, but not much. The cargo is being held down at the spaceport, not in the security office. Still, they use the same access cards. If you had one, it'd work. How or why you would have a UC security access card is none of my business, of course. I'm sure I'm better off not knowing. Beyond that, the ship decks over there might also be able to get in. I don't know any of them, or I'd be talking to them instead of you. No offense.
Don't worry, I think we'll try something else.
I'm
We'll
not
try
worried.
something.
I'm annoyed. Wait, are you saying I should be worried? No, of course not. It'll be fine. Totally fine. I trust you.
Well, we'll leave you be.
Stop by anytime you'd like to catch up.
Okay, so this is the viewport and some people here to hire.
Barrett enjoys this establishment. He frequently buys chocolate here, though I have informed him repeatedly it is likely a significant contributing factor to his being overweight.
That's very rude.
There's a bit more in the back if you're not seeing something on display.
What is it you sell here?
And with space.
Sure hope your day's going as well as mine is.
In the coffee
Although
shop?
I have attempted an analysis several times, I simply cannot quantify humans' addiction to caffeine.
Yeah, you don't ever want to have caffeine in your system. Once you get hooked, that's it, you're stuck. Well, let's go to the train. I think this is a train, looks like a train. And
This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District.
And I think that is the plan. We will jump on this just now. Look at the robot just playing around with his hand. Curiosity got him interested.
Another day, another credit.
The water is quite aesthetically pleasing, or so Barrett has told me. New Atlantis relies on advanced hydroelectrics for most of its power.
This looks very pretty. You can see it is water themed. There seems to be a lot of water ponds, at least in the general location. That was clearly up for cleaning. It's very pretty.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been.
Good afternoon, Mr. Guard.
Sergeant Yumi is looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
And a gift.
Captain, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Well, thank you, Vasco.
Do you really think what I'm suggesting is so outlandish? We appear to have a visitor.
Hello.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Sure, the pirates attacked and Barrett asked me to deliver the artifact.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
There was a bright light music.
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Barrett also was about it. Interesting.
Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy tales...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noelle, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Sure.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Country?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
You know what? I'm in.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, Why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? Hmm? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Alright, well, as we said, we will speak to the people here.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too. That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
The vision I saw, what do you think it was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon. Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
You know what will be these artifacts?
Oh gosh, no. I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
No. Let me know how I can help.
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right?
For sure.
Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. There's a galaxy chock full of resources. The more data I have, the more thorough an analysis I can do. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep. Anything I can learn from is a help.
Do I? No, I do not, apparently.
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter's quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
I am at your service, Captain.
Thank you, Robot.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself. Within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full.
very posh place, isn't it?
Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
So this is my house room. Moby Dick, love it. Exotic bomb bottle. This is a very posh place. Okay. Well, we've got to see this place and my room. I don't want to intrude on other people's places, so we'll just leave them for now and we'll speak to the other people around, wherever they may be.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you. Captain, now that you are a member of Constellation, I am at your service. No additional protocols necessary. Also, given the likelihood that you will be out in unsettled space, it might be beneficial to go over exploration outpost development, in case you ever need to build a base for field research. Captain, I will proceed to my assigned post.
So we spoke to you.
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eiffel.
Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line. Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man.
Hello, grumpy old
Welcome
man.
aboard.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
What's your role in Constellation?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
What do you think of the visions I had?
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
No, never before.
Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar, in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
What kind of company is Shroud? I can't even pronounce
The
that.
most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
And this isn't where I expect to find the CEO.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home, as much as anywhere else.
Well, thank you for talking.
Until next time.
Hello.
This is all exciting, but there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't there? We have to get this right.
Hope you've got.
Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
You and I both know you have the credits to spare, and you love every minute of this.
Do these all come out of caves?
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
What do you think about the visions?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but you know, if the label fits.
I know it's important. I can
It
feel
has
it.
to be, right? All of this is connected. We just need to figure out how and why. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
Nope. And what brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
That's a funny way to join the company.
Take care of yourself.
Right, I think we've met everyone, so I will speak to Zero.
Yeah, what is it? So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
I'm ready.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually. But a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
You don't have to admit, I'm quite excited for my first mission.
Felt the same way when I started too. There's an electricity in the air when you know you're about to uncover something. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Okay.
You'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before, or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?